Did God create evil? Yep, created evil, created good, and he created evil. But how did he create the evil? Can you say that the evil in the world that happens is because of God creating it? Therefore, it's God's fault? You can say that. You can say that, well, God is the one that created the evil in the world. Therefore, it's because he created Satan, the serpent, the subtle one, more than the other beast of the field. God created Satan, and whatever Satan does, can you say that it's because of God? He's the one that created him. It's God's the one that created Satan. So can you blame it on God and just turn it all around and say, well, you're the one that created evil, didn't you? Well, yeah, I created evil. I did create it. But how was it created? Was it by design? Of course it was. But who designed it? If you create something that's evil from doing good, then the evil that's created is just because it's formed from other spirits that they don't like what you're doing. They don't want to hear what you're doing. So it gets them to be quite angry and very, very irritated at that good. So the good is something that creates the evil, but what the evil does with itself, that's on the evil person that does it. There's a fine line that you draw, and sometimes you want to cross it when you can't because it doesn't line up. But just because God created something doesn't mean that he's the one to blame for all the negative in the world. God is free will, love, and the exact opposite of the negative energy. That's what it is. So if let's say you did a good deed for somebody, and you can say, well, ultimately it's because God created me as a human and I did something good for somebody. You can say, well, yeah, that's because of God. But what about when you backstab somebody? Is that God too because he created you, or is that you being held responsible for your own actions as to what you do with the creation that God gave us? God, the source creator, just created us, and there you go. Here, I give you life, and then you do what you're going to do with your life. And if you want to turn around and blame it on me, son, that's fine, because that's what happens. However, there's always these two ways of looking at things, and man, are they convincing both ways. Both ways are convincing. The good way and the evil way. Because they both make so much sense. I know. I'm a freshman. I'm a rookie. I still have like 4 more years to go in this school. But At least I reached this school. At least I'm in the door. I'll get to the 4th year of graduation. But in the meantime, the first year, in order to get into this college, you kind of got to have a prior skill set beforehand that was proven to even be able to get into the college. I really should read my Bible once in a while. Man and woman were created. God created he, him. And he created he, them. There's a creation of man and woman. Man separately, woman separately. Then there's a creation of man, Adam, and then Eve inside the same vessel. Because what you do is you take Eve from Adam, you take a rib from the side of Adam, and then he becomes Eve, and then they have a child together. Because what you're birthing is Cain, because Cain is killing Abel. Cain just killed Abel as Eve got beguiled by the serpent, and then Adam fell for it as well. So Adam and Eve conceived, and they bore a child, and the child's name was Cain. And then Cain's the one that rose up and he slew Adam's son Abel. Just like conversations go on in your head, Son of man, say unto the prince of hell, or say unto the one controlling you, bringing you down into hell, say unto him, get up from out of the house. Time's up. When you're taken up to the high mountain on this planet, there's a lot of people that were taken up to the mountain, and they were told that as Jesus, because everybody is, you have to be crucified in order to, like before Ian Rappaport went to the party, he got wrapped up. He got a coat because he got styled by Minka Kelly as well. So you're offered the world, but all you got to do is just that one. Well, you got to do either that. And there's a couple different options that you got. You can either give a burnt sacrifice, or you get completely inverted, or you become a rapper first, and then if you want to get up out of here, then you got to give up your soul, because you need to pay, because somebody else is giving you the finger, and it's for your soul. You can get a shoe deal out of it, but it's a gift from God. It's a gift from God. God's the one that created us, right? So if you decide to give your children up, your spark of life, if you decide to give that up, well, to Satan's going to say that that's a gift from God. Why? Because you just gave him your life, and it came from God, so it's God's. You weren't supposed to do that, but it's considered now a gift from God. So anything that comes from God, if you're willing to sacrifice yourself, then that's why you would either give up a burnt offering or one of the other two, the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. You can go with either one of those. You can either do like the full female route and then go seduce God's children, because whoever has the spark, but also you're seducing them and getting them to sleep with you as a woman that is now man and woman, and then your job is to, from Satan, is to do that and get them and get their spark and harvest it, and I'm not sure what happens after that, but the whole system is set up that way. This is what everybody behind the scenes, like, if you want to live that life, then that's all you got to do. And then you think, because they can rationalize with you, well, I mean, how long do you know, when you get older, a lot of men don't even do anything anymore sexually, so what's the point of even having it? Just give it up. That could be one thing that is like, yeah, I mean, it's what Judas did. Judas went and hung it up. He hung up his career. When you hang up your career, you also, in the Hollywood industry, apparently, this is what I'm being shown, is that when they fake their death, I never even looked at that one, Robin Williams and married to Bill Gates. And I go and look at it like, oh my God, that does look like Robin Williams. But, hey, if you want to rule the world, like that one singer said, everybody wants to rule the world. This is that free will option that everybody has. They choose this. But the fear is there as well, where you got to give a burnt offering also if you're not complying with the orders. And you don't want to just do your own thing, because if you do that, there's repercussions for that. And remember, they promised you liberty. And with that party coming up, there might have been one last year, could have been one last year, that was maybe it was the Ian Rappaport video. And then there could be a second one, which is F you, pay me, and you now got to give up your soul. Because if you're a rapper, you still have a soul. But when you get inverted to become a bride of Christ in order to go up to heaven, then that's the deal that people have been doing, or they're gonna do, or getting ready to do. And they have this party coming up, the second one. No, my nose just itched. They have a second party coming up. And they promised you liberty. But I'm not at liberty to say who gets off the hook or not. We have a hold up. I wonder what the holdup is. Why am I holding you up? Well, I'm being held up. And I don't know, do I have to say anything? Or, see, sometimes I feel like I'm wasting people's time. And then that's just me with my own head, just battling my own self. Because the recording button, it's a whole different thing. Like, because you are talking to people, but at the same time, it's like, if nobody feels like watching, they're not going to watch. And today's my 4th birthday. I'm 4 years old today. I learned how to crawl, walk, talk, run. I learned how to speak. And I learned that there's a lot of good in this world, but I also learned that there's a lot of evil in this world. And there's a lot of trickery going on. And if anybody, like, this is just some advice for anybody, like, because it's usually males. Males tend to watch porn more than women. But my advice for anybody that still does that is, be careful who you think is what. Just be careful, because unless you don't mind, I mean, whatever, it's just your own preference. It really is. But this is the whole thing. Even in, like, you know, when this stuff is happening behind the scenes and it's everywhere, and when you take another look, a double take at Katy Perry, you just see you see where it's at. And then to think that, man, wow, these were all men. These are all men. There's some women, I guess, that are in between, right? Like, you got Hollywood, you do still hire, you still do hire women, right? So this whole system is exciting to find out the truth. It's exciting to sit in traffic and wait. But I said this before, that, yeah, it's better than sitting in jail. And then when I go to jail, I'm like, man, now what do I say? You're in jail for something that you didn't do. Like, sleep with that woman. Because you didn't lay with that woman, you're going to jail, Robin. Because you're not going to fall for it. Like, yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to get gifts. But gifts from God. Because God has to be inside of a person's spirit in order for you to receive that gift. See, look. My head and my heart. So I'll just say, I don't know who this is. Ava Max. Ava Max is a guy that did the whole thing. And it's from is it the Adamic race? Because there's a serpent race and a Adamic race. And the serpent race opposed to the other race is a birthing system inside of the host body itself. And so you do that thing where you're a complete male, and then you you're taken to the highest mountain and you're offered the entire world, and you say yes. Yes, I will take it. Yeah, I'll take it, but I'm not doing anything to get it. I'm not doing anything to get it. If I don't get it by just being myself, then I don't get it. You see, the writing's on the wall. That's the thing. The writing's on the wall. The party's coming up. 1,000 of his lords. And if you can read the writing on the wall, then you'll know. Look, because we're at that point. If anybody can read the writing on the wall, you know that the time is coming to an end. And the beast and the false prophet are cast alive into the burning lake of fire. I think that's what it says. Again, I gotta read my Bible. I've read it. I read some scriptures, but I still don't know all the stories. I don't know if people think I'm supposed to know, because that's not the case either. I'm not supposed to know everything. So you can't hold it against me when I don't know, because I've never, when it comes to scripture, any of the truth, I never hold it back. There's no truth being held back, because it's my interpretation as I see it. It could be wrong, but it's not a lie. So, and I'm not trying to get people to perceive it any other way other than the way that I believe it's true. That's it. So I can't be held responsible for not knowing everything. Living in this world, in this literal matrix system, waking up into a world of just what the hell is this place? You see how many people there are? Just look around. I'm just in my little area here, and it's just people, and they're all everywhere. Cars, and so many mines, and so many people pooping in toilets, and just so much going on. So many different things happening all at once. Who the hell could possibly know what is happening on this planet unless you're from the CIA, and unless you were hired to be on YouTube to pretend that you're somebody that you're not? So I can hold it against you for having knowledge and swearing to secrecy, if wherever you are. If I know what the truth is, then I don't have a problem telling it. But I have a problem when people don't want to tell me it. You know, I thought before, because I would only be bad on myself, like, nobody really believes that Jonathan Click is someone that has any ability to run the things that happens on this planet. And it's like, people don't really believe that Philadelphia is the landscape of where it's at, and people don't really believe that. And then it's to the point where, why does it matter what people believe when you're just showing what your opinion is towards what you see with your channel that was created out of the free will option to hop into this platform and speak your mind according to what you can, without getting shut down completely. But I've been speaking my mind with everything, with whatever it is. I get some strikes here and there, but so far my channel's still up, and I did not expect it to be up for 4 years. I was under a different perception so many times, waiting for it to get shut down. And why would it get shut down? And why is it that everybody has to go to another platform? What's happening on this platform? If they shut my channel down completely, well then yeah, I have other options. But what would be the point of shutting my channel down? If I'm telling the truth, then, and you're supposed to shut the truth off, and there's no more truth on YouTube, well then you're not supposed to see me up. I should be off. But if you want to switch around and make it seem like I'm the bad guy and then you become the good guy, and no matter what, it's always that way from eternity, where there's always switcheroos, and then I stay up because I look like the Antichrist because I'm still up and I'm not supposed to be. But that would mean that I would just have to keep talking, I guess. I guess what it is the people that run this planet and this platform, they don't actually want me to leave because they've learned some things off me. They don't want to admit it, like publicly. They're not going to flat out admit it to the people that work underneath of them, because everybody's getting tricked, especially when it comes to that elevator. There's twins. Everybody has a twin you, a twin suit, and twin parties. One of them's a defilement as a twin, and then another one is where you're supposed to be with the other twins. So it's twin party. On this floor over here, there's these twins. Over here on this one, there's those twins. And then that person that went in there has a double mint gum, double your pleasure. Double mint gum, double your pleasure. Oh my goodness, that's forward and backwards ligaments of the body. Double your pleasure. This is crazy, man. It's crazy. Stuff all over everywhere. This whole world is insane. And we just go back and forth like ants, just, or aphids. I'm sorry, the ants are the ones, they're over us. But it's double mint pleasure, double mint gum, double the pleasure in the system. That's one of the options where you become a complete woman, and now you do that thing. You do it all day long. You can do it where you're at. You can do it in a newscast. You can do it at the mall, shopping store. It's just wherever and whenever you can do it. When that woman went up to see that guy at the bar, and that guy said what he said before he swallowed a bug. Sometimes I visualize people's expression when they either hop on this channel for the first time or just starting to watch, and what the fuck is he talking about? And I'm not trying to be smart. I'm not trying to be smart on anybody. It's so much to explain, so I'd rather just, if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I've showed, and then you'll see the areas where you can look forward to the meaning of it. Is Michael up in heaven fighting right now? Or is he going to be fighting on the Easter, or the day after Easter, when Easter's over? Or does it start Monday and then Michael stands up? Because we're getting close to that point. When was Satan cast out of heaven? Him and his angels. Well, if they were just cast out now, and they're on the earth, then who was it that was giving me a hard time for the past 4 years? Were they still up in heaven or something? Or there's just no place found in heaven for them anymore, so they're actually getting kicked out. But if they can get you to believe that Jesus is your son, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Then they got you. Because then you claim that you're God, and that's your son Jesus. So that's one trap. And then another trap is, and this is for anybody who qualified for America's Next Top Messiah, don't tell them, don't let that person that says, hey, I'm Jesus, don't let them try to convince you that you are his father, because that would mean that you're blaspheming God and saying that you are him. But there's other people that are going with the other route, that we're all Christ. So we're all Christ. But yeah, that happens, the body of Christ. And then there's, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you are the Messiah. That's why you're here. We picked you. But I'm your father, because I actually live in heaven. So I mean, I'm your dad. So don't call anybody your father, and don't let anybody call you father. Don't call any of them your son, and don't let them call you their son. You're a fellow servant of the brethren. See that thou doest not when you're trying to, if someone's trying to worship you, don't tell them, see that you do that not. Worship God. I'm just a fellow servant.